Well, welcome to the 700 Club. Nikki Haley and Donald Trump. They're the last candidates standing in the race for the Republican presidential nomination.
Ron DeSantis dropped out of the race yesterday and endorsed the former president. CBN's Brody Carter reports on the latest developments with 1 day to go before the New Hampshire primary.
While this campaign has ended, the mission continues. Down here in Florida,
once considered the top contender against former President Donald Trump, Ron DeSantis slumped to the single digits in New Hampshire after coming in second behind Trump by 30 points in Iowa last week. Sunday, DeSantis threw in the towel in a video on the social media site X, pledging his support for Trump.
He has my endorsement because we can't go back to the old Republican guard of yesteryear, a repackaged form of warmed-over corporatism that Nikki Haley represents. The days of putting Americans last, of kowtowing to large corporations, of caving to woke ideology are over.
In a December interview with CBN chief political analyst David Brody, DeSantis seemed to acknowledge he couldn't overtake Trump.
I would say if I could have one thing change, I wish Trump hadn't been indicted on any of this stuff.
Because it's helped him, is that what you're saying? And so therefore...
It's both that, but then it also has just crowded out, I think, so much other stuff, and it's sucked out a lot of oxygen.
Is this Donald Trump country?
Trump secured another endorsement over the weekend, former Republican candidate and South Carolina Senator Tim Scott.
We need Donald Trump. We need a president. We need a president who will unite our country.
Now it's down to two vying for the Republican ticket. Nikki Haley, Trump's former ambassador to the UN, is questioning Trump's mental fitness after he seemed to confuse her with former Democratic Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi.
He went on and on, mentioned my name multiple times about the fact that I stopped people from being secure on January 6th. I wasn't in D.C. on January 6th. I had nothing to do with the Capitol.
In New Hampshire, residents of the Granite State are carefully considering their choices.
Right now, I'm still up in the air because I want to see who is the best.
I'm not embarrassed to be an American like I was when his predecessor was in office. I will do everything I can to make sure that we don't have a repeat performance from our previous president.
Trump holds 50% of support among Republicans in New Hampshire. Haley, 39%. Voters go to the polls on Tuesday. Brody Carter, CBN News.
Well, we look forward to the results from New Hampshire, and then the race will turn down to South Carolina, and we'll see who survives that. But it looks like, if you were making predictions today, it looks like it's going to be Biden-Trump all over again. In other news, and this is very sad news, the U.S. Navy ended an exhaustive search for 2 Navy SEALs who've been missing since January 11th. John Jessup has more on that story from our CBN News Bureau in Washington. John?
Sad indeed, Gordon. The 2 SEALs are now presumed dead after a 10-day search covering more than 21,000 square miles off the coast of Somalia. They were boarding a ship carrying Iranian-made weapons bound for Yemen in rough seas at night when one of them fell into the water and the second jumped in after him. Meanwhile, attacks on American forces in the Middle East are increasing. In Iraq, a number of troops are being evaluated for potential traumatic brain injuries after a weekend attack on a joint U.S.-Iraqi air base. Iranian-backed forces launched multiple ballistic missiles and rockets at the base Saturday. U.S. forces have been targeted in more than 100 attacks over the past several months. Well, turning now to Israel, where Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu rejected a Hamas deal to end the war. The terror group demanded the end of Israel's military campaign and the release of Palestinians held by Israel in exchange for the remaining hostages. Netanyahu also denied a claim by President Biden that he might be open to some type of two-state solution. On Sunday, the IDF released footage of a Gaza tunnel where it appears Hamas kept 20 hostages. The video showing several rooms with mattresses on the ground, dirty dishes, and a bathroom. Hamas is still holding some 130 hostages.